like we haven't done one of these in 3 years.
It's
Been about 3 weeks.
yeah. Can you hear us?
I'm right here.
There we go. I think this is better.
Yeah, you're sitting right there.
There we go.
I can see you too.
Here I am.
Okay.
Hello.
Ready?
That was the second time I got herpes.
You can only get it once.
Oh, my bad.
It just
It's the
keeps
gift-
coming back.
Yeah,
it's the same
gift
one.
that keeps on giving.
Joke's on you, buddy. That shit's for
damn it.
life. All right. Are you guys ready to do this?
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's just do it. 3, 2. Welcome to the After 2 Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Dalton, joined as always by Kimmy Gibbler
That's me.
and Michael the Puddin' Summers.
What's going on?
Oh, man, just thought we'd record a podcast.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. You know, again, thanks to our buddy Kevin Shook here at East Studios.
Yep.
And we've got a new look tonight. I'm a big fan of it.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
it's great.
But actually, Kevin and I were conversing. I think we're going to try to up the number of these to maybe 2 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, like right now it's third Thursday,
Yep.
Thursday of the
Thursday,
month.
Thursday.
I think we're going to also try to do the first Thursday of the month.
Okay.
So 24 shows, and I'm even thinking about trying to do a local version.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had people that want to come on the show, which still is odd to me because even I don't know what we're going to talk
Have
about.
you heard it?
Right? And so from that perspective, I think we can do more of a PG-13 kind of.
Yeah, get them on
you
there.
know.
Local events,
Yeah.
local topics.
Yeah. You know, hell, we had the mayor on here a couple times. Not the
Couple.
current mayor, but
Nah,
yeah. So, I mean, we're not that bad.
No.
Yeah. All right. I will release this audio. We're going to start releasing audio again. I haven't done that for a while as well. So if you're listening to the audio version, just know that if you follow us on social media on our Facebook page, you can watch these live when we record these. And the other cool part is by doing it via Facebook too, you can comment with us.
Yeah.
And we want to
Right
really
there
open up
with
the
us.
engagement between you guys, the ones that are watching, and all of us here. So we would greatly appreciate you following us on Facebook and checking that out. So coming up on tonight's show, we've got a new segment that I wanted to add, and I didn't want to change everything else up because
Yeah.
Kimmy gets freaked out. She is a creature of habit. So the only thing we're adding is the Mount Rushmore. And we can
Yeah.
call it whatever. We don't have to call it that. But the idea is that I want to find a topic each week. I mean, goofy shit.
Yes.
And but stuff that for some reason we think is important.
Right.
Everybody will have an opinion
Right,
on.
exactly.
Gotta get out there.
It's not going to be political, which
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the presidential election or the debate next
God.
week.
Oh,
my
that's going to be
God.
so good.
It's going to be comedy gold. We will talk about that. It's going to be great. But anyway, we're going to do our Mount Rushmore this week. We posted it on social media yesterday for those that may have saw it. We're going to talk about a shopping mall.
Shopping mall.
They still exist in some places.
Ish.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, they're
Somewhat.
they're like on a protected list. It's like an animal that's almost close to extinction.
It's
That's
like a
what the
bird
shopping mall
sanctuary.
is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we're going to talk about the shopping mall. It was a big part of our lives as Gen
Absolutely, yeah.
Xers, and so we're going to talk about that tonight. Then we've got Gibbler's Giblets as always. Do you have giblets?
I have some giblets.
Sweet. Puddin's going to walk us through the Am I the Asshole? a popular segment. And I've got two news stories. We got a lot going on. So
yeah.
I'm going to pick the two this week that one fires me up.
Does it really?
Yeah, it pisses me
get you
off a little
going.
bit. Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
can't wait
then
to hear that.
oh, it's brutal. We'll get there. And then one of them is
He's ready to go right now.
it's actually kind of fun. We'll leave the funny one for the end.
Okay.
All right. Before we get started with our Mount Rushmore, I want to talk about two things. This is something we can do each week too.
Okay.
What's popular right now in social media, or what's the buzz on social media? There's two things.
Okay.
I got
you. We know one.
I know one.
Yeah.
We'll come to that one. Yeah, that one's coming. But let's talk first of all about Mr. JT bringing sexy back himself,
man.
Justin Timberlake.
When's he going to get his license back? It's going to be May.
It's gonna be May.
Now, I got to say, obviously, we don't condone drinking and driving.
Right.
It affected our community here locally.
Yes.
Just within the last few weeks. Someone that has been a guest on our podcast that was driving home from doing an event, and someone crossed the center line.
Yep.
And that's it. Every day is a blessing,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So we're not condoning drinking and driving by any stretch. Obviously, we don't. You know, but I will say this: I won't cast stones because I'd be willing to bet that a vast amount of Americans have drove at least one time in their life with too much in
Oh,
their
yeah.
system,
Definitely.
right? So
Hate to admit it, but yeah.
well, anyone that's like, hey, take the back roads, that's like you're just admitting out loud, right? I mean, like pick another crime that you would make a joke about how you get away with it. You're like, oh, drugs in the butt.
Drugs in my business wallet.
Right? So anyway, I want to talk about it mostly because of two reasons. First of all, they have nothing to do with drinking and driving. Well, I guess the one does. The first one is this: Justin Timberlake, I looked this up, is worth $250 million.
Right.
$250 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think I'm driving anywhere?
No, well, I don't even have a problem with him driving to wherever. Like,
Yeah.
even if I was his wealth, I would still want to drive. I like driving, right? But I thought about this, and even before JT, because we always hear about celebrities that are getting picked up for DUIs,
Yeah.
right? I would want someone, I would pay them like $100,000 a year. So it's a good job, but I'm a quarter billionaire, so it's not
Yeah,
that
so it
much,
doesn't
right?
matter.
And literally their goal in life, they just ride around with a flatbed truck following me everywhere I
Just
go.
take me home.
Right,
I'm
well-
going to sit in the car and they can tow.
Well,
load me
I'll get up in the
Tow
front
the
seat.
car.
Well, it'd be a nice up front. I mean, it'd have a nice system in
He'll be
it.
puking in my truck.
Right. And so that's the part that I understand if I was Justin Timberlake
Right.
and I'm out and I've had a couple and I don't feel like that I've had too many. Right.
Yep.
And I can get behind the wheel.
Yeah,
And-
but when you swerving and blow a stop sign.
Right. Well, but
And
here's
your
the-
eyes look like they're lit up like a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
we're going to get to that in a minute too. But the thing about it for me more is this. Like, I would see that if he's like, man, I can't call a cab. This would be all over the news anyway, even if I call a cab,
Right.
call
Yeah.
an Uber. Well, that's fine. It said he was out with friends, right?
Yeah.
One of them couldn't drive him home?
He was the one that was the designated follower. He was following his friends home.
Oh, man. He's, man. That's
I didn't know that part.
First
Yeah.
rule.
That's what it said in the news. I was like, oh.
Oh, that's
Took
He
one
was
for
the
the team.
most
See, you just took one
responsible?
for the team.
Yeah, that's like when you put like the injured animal at the end of your herd as you're going across the Serengeti, and you're like, well, we'll let Bob.
That's
get
like when they say when you're being chased by a bear, you don't have to be the fastest.
right.
Just make sure
Oh,
you're fast.
JT. But here's the other thing about Justin Timberlake that it reminded me of something that I'm a big fan of. I'm not one that likes watching people get in trouble because, again, it could happen to any of us,
Right.
right? But there's something about seeing a celebrity's mugshot
Oh,
that makes you just realize they're normal people too.
Right.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I looked at his mugshot, and I swear to God, he looks like the kind of guy that would show up like at a parent-teacher conference meeting and would be kind of half lit already and
Oh, yeah.
hitting on the teacher in front of the mom. Like he looks like that kind of guy in that picture.
so a douche.
Yes, exactly. He looks like a guy that hangs out at a country club, and everybody's like, "Oh, fuck that guy."
Ah, fucking Chad.
Right? Hey, everybody see my new car outside?
Yeah. See my new 9-iron.
Ah.
No, I actually listened to it on the Sirius XM today, and they were talking about, and they said that the guy that pulled him over was just like 21, 22 years old. It was like he was a
Ah.
rookie cop, and like when he pulled him over, I guess that JT was like, "Man, I'm going on world tour. Do we really need to do all this?" And he's like, "Yeah, right." He didn't even know who the
I was
hell
going
he
to
was.
say, he probably didn't even know who it was.
He didn't know who
Yeah.
he was.
He looked like one of his buddy's dads.
Right. Right.
You know, and it just shows you that Walt Disney screwed up all those kids.
Mickey Mouse.
Well,
Yeah,
look
you
at
can't-
Brittany now. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I was gonna say it was Brittany that messed him up.
Oh man, I'm
Good
so
night.
you know you're in trouble when you're dancing in your panties with knives.
And then
You know?
writing a book about your life and then like completely putting him in the garbage.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's
maybe that's
bad.
why he was out drinking.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean,
It's
I
such a-
feel like he was doing more than just drinking though.
well, I've heard that, and I don't
Yeah.
want to speculate.
we don't
on that,
know.
but
Don't wanna get-
His eyes were the same color as like the red.
well, that could
On
just
or after
be
2
weed.
beers. Well, that's true too.
I've heard.
so we hear it could be
Yeah,
weed.
I heard
that
it could be
does
the
it.
weed.
We don't know.
All right, so there you go. I just got a thing for $250 million. You've got to not ever get a DUI.
Right.
Oh man, you could have like even like at the restaurant, you could have paid one of those like the bus boy has been like, I'll give you $1,000 if you drive us all home.
Yeah.
Right?
Drive my car home.
Oh, I'd
Call
hire
me an Uber.
I'd hire
Sneak me
somebody
out
just
back.
to carry me home.
Right.
You know, like on their shoulders.
$1,000, they would be like, oh,
I want to get one of them baby packs and carry me around.
Right?
Now let's go Taco Bell. Carry me in.
Oh man, I'd have to get a gorilla though, as big as I am.
I'd have to have a sippy cup too.
All right, let's talk about the other thing that's making the social media rounds this week.
What do we got?
It's the Hawk Tui girl.
Oh gosh,
So this girl
they're
is
in love with her, aren't they?
Oh well, you know, and here's the thing: I don't have TikTok on my phone. My company doesn't allow it, right?
but you have Facebook Reels.
Oh well, that's the thing. Like if you can't hide a Hawk Tui girl without her showing up everywhere.
She's everywhere.
Yeah. So apparently she's from Tennessee.
Okay.
They found this girl. She's actually signing stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like partnered up with this clothing company that's making like Haktue 24 like for president type of deal. And
Yeah.
signing the shirts and
Nice.
hats.
You know, it's funny to me because Puddin and I were talking about it off air. That it's interesting to me that it's going so viral,
Right.
and I feel like it was one of two things, right? It's got to be a guy thing where they're like, "Hey, look, see, just Hawk Tui."
Keep showing his wife. See, she'll spit on it.
Right? Well, then I saw a video today of a girl, and this is probably the inverse side, who's like, ew, why would you want someone to spit on you like that? And I was like, I'm a dude. She can be like, I have to put chicken gravy on your junk before I will enjoy it. And I'll be like,
Ta-da.
girl, I'll keep a 5-gallon bucket in the refrigerator.
I got it right now. How about bacon gravy? I guess.
Whatever you need.
I hate to tell you, but there's gonna be saliva on it anyway.
Oh, right? The Hawk Tua is like I was telling Puddin, it's like cleaning the day off. You know?
You spit that back out, and then you spit on it.
Tim
Oh,
Kendall said,
gosh.
did you hear that Afro Man is running for president?
Because he got
Oh my God, you'd have to be. That's the thing. Like, I'm already over the presidential election. Who would really want that job?
Oh,
Anymore,
Honestly.
not now anymore. No.
No, I mean, regardless of who you vote for, who you want to vote for, right? Right off the bat, there's 43% or so that are 100% going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And there's 43% that 100% are going to vote for Biden. That's just how it is, right?
Yep.
And then you've got the fringe, and it's always the fringe. Everybody badmouths the media, but in reality, it's just the fringe that fuck it up for everybody, right?
Thanks, guys.
Right? And these are the ones that I would hate to run for office for because they're fucking mean.
Yeah.
Like they call Biden the Biden crime family now.
Oh my!
Right?
I heard that. Nice.
And I keep thinking this guy is the one you guys say can't hardly spell his own name. But
Have you
he's
seen the videos
the
lately?
mastermind.
They're trying to say they're faked. Of him just like walking away from stuff. And then, like the French president had to come over
No.
and grab him in his arm and turn him around.
It looks like me trying to find my keys in the morning.
It looks like me trying to find my keys at night after I drank too many. Tim Kendall says that Afro Man is calling himself the cannabis commander in chief.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's the old I didn't exhale.
Yeah, he
that
didn't
movie.
exhale. Not a chance
Yeah.
now.
So there you go. The Haktua girl
Hot to a.
in America now. That's what is, people just want to talk about.
It's
I'm
amazing what
gonna-
catches on.
I was gonna say I'm gonna tell myself because until yesterday.
Do you a Haktua?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm
Josh?
saying
Inquiring
No.
minds are wanting to know.
I actually had to ask Josh yesterday. I was like, "What is the Haktua thing?" Or I was like, "What is this girl?" I was like, "She's in all of these memes," but I hadn't seen the Haktua.
Oh, you haven't seen that part.
No, and I hadn't been on Tiki Talkie for a couple weeks
Yeah.
apparently. But
Yes,
yeah,
well,
he's
this-
like, "You haven't seen this?" And
Yes.
then you start going down the rabbit
It's
hole.
all over the place now.
You know it's a country song, half Cherokee and Hakta.
Oh, man.
Tui.
Yeah.
It's funny because normally you hear about the spit at the end.
That's when you really find out if she's
Right? Yeah. I bet you this girl likes ranch dressing. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Anyway, let's get into our new segment. It's the Mount Rushmore of whatever. And
Okay.
the concept is, and I challenge both of you, and I've challenged the listeners and the viewers, that each week we're going to come up with a goofy topic. We'll post it on social media in advance. Now, we haven't discussed ours at all.
Nope.
Okay, so I have no idea what you've picked. And if you're watching, we'd love to hear some of yours as well. So the idea is, if you really think about when we grew up as Gen Xers in the 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, the mall was a big damn
It
deal.
was everything.
We didn't have social media.
Our parents dropped us off and we walked around
Yeah.
and hung out there for like
Hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter when there was nothing else going
No,
on.
that's where
Yep.
you went, Friday or Saturday night.
Right.
You were
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And it was a big deal as a part of our growing up, and they're dead for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. I mean, they're an inefficient business model if you think about it, because I worked at a mall for 3 years when I was in college, and when you're busy, you're busy.
Yeah.
But 80% of the
dead, you're
time,
dead.
oh my God, it's like hanging out with people. Like if I have never lived in an apartment, but I have to assume that's what it's like
Oh,
because
yeah.
you get to
Roommates,
know your
yeah.
neighbors.
Oh, yeah. Everybody in there. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so that, and we, as human beings now, we're at work and we've got basically a little computer we carry in our pocket wherever we go.
We
And
need
somebody's like, well, I need to buy this. I'll
Yep.
just buy it online.
And hell, it's at home before I even get there.
Right. But I miss the mall, but I'm old. So I asked each of you and the audience here, what are the 4 stores that you would put on your Mount Rushmore of a mall?
Yeah.
And I also, because it's going to be tough, there is an opportunity at a honorable mention.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and get started. Gibbler, what were the 4 stores that are on your Mount Rushmore of a classic 1980s, 1990s, even 70s mall?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize the mall here locally opened in the mid 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're going back to those times, one of the places I always hit up was Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I'm a gadget girl and I like to see like what's new and everything else. I mean, obviously now I'm like, I look back and I'm like, oh, well, they sold cordless phone batteries.
Bunch of
But
wiring.
no, I mean, like
nobody
that
needed.
was one of the things that I always remember being in a mall was a Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually worked there during high school. Was Musicland. the
Yeah.
music
Okay,
store.
yeah.
Yeah. Deb.
I don't know.
We had a Deb.
Yeah, I don't know, Deb.
Yeah, a Deb was one of them.
What was Deb?
So
I mean,
Deb
I
is
remember
like
seeing it, but
it's like a teeny bopper clothing store. Things were reasonably priced.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it was just like
So clothes.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yep.
American Eagle before American
Exactly. I liked the toy store.
Eagle. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
We
got
had KB toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you go to some like malls out of town, they had like a Toys R Us that was
Yep.
hooked up to the mall, which also is completely gone now. So how many have I got there?
That's 4.
That's 4. Are those your 4?
So I only get 4, right?
Well,
You got a runner up. Do you have a runner up?
Something, and I know this is probably just Richmond, but something that I always went to is I loved going to Noble Romans and watching them
ours
like
was
toss the
best.
pie.
Yeah.
Like they would just like toss the pie and make it round, and I would like I remember in grade school we actually got to go there and make our own pie.
Yeah, you got to go in that
and
back
we
little
learned
room and
how
watch
to
them.
toss the dough.
Yeah.
And, it
It's
was
amazing
awesome.
what you could do pre-COVID
Right?
and the internet and people. They would just let snot-nosed kids come back in the kitchen.
Just watch them.
right?
Yeah, like
And just play with dough.
Toss it in the air.
just toss it. Octua on it. All right. All right, Gable. I like those. I think
Okay.
those are 4 really good ones. Puddin', what do you got?
All right. First one I want to start off with, and the main reason, it's actually 2 combined, but it's one reason. Sears and J.C. Penney's
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Christmas catalog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Growing up, that was
yes.
my shit.
So here's the funny part, right? It has nothing to do with the store.
No.
It's just the book.
The
that-
catalog. I want
no.
that damn catalog.
Well, you got to circle what you wanted, and it was like your Christmas
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
That was my first one.
That's where a lot of sad Christmas
Second one
came in for some.
Is Woolworths.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah, I
like the
forgot
big
about
stores.
Oh yeah, Woolworths is my shit. I would go in there and get a Cowboys championship shirt from the '90s and a sandwich.
I was gonna say an ice cream cone.
Yeah, I get a sandwich and a shirt. I mean, that's where I got my first Reds trash can, my first Gallus trash can. That was
Yeah.
back in the day.
The
Woolworths.
Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboys trash can is a
Yeah.
trash can.
Yeah.
It was just clear.
My third one, and that's I don't know, this might have been '90s, '80s, '90s, but it's Stephen Barry's.
What
What's
is that?
It's a college clothing store, college sporting clothing store. So it had everything, but it was really cheap. So it
Really?
had jerseys, hoodies, anything you wanted, any college team, but cheap as hell. Like, and then main thing they didn't
Bootleg
advertise.
shit. It was
yeah.
like a bootleg store.
Yeah, it was almost like Fanatics today, you know. So
Yeah.
that shit
Oh,
you get from
okay.
there, it's like,
Right. It's spelled wrong.
yeah. My next one was Piercing Pagoda.
That's,
Okay.
that's
That's,
one of your,
yeah, that's where I got my ears pierced for the first time. You know how many holes have been filled there?
were created.
Right?
Oh, I love it. Amber commented KB Toys, Piercing Pagoda,
Yeah.
Debs,
See?
and Walden Books. Josh Hunter
yeah.
says KB Toys, Foot Locker, Radio Shack,
Yeah.
and Sears. And he
Forgot about Noble Romans.
Yeah.
My runner up is this thing right here. I still can't do it. I'm 46 years old. The Magic Eye kiosk.
Oh, where you can look at the
Oh,
picture?
Yeah.
And
Can't
it
do
like
it.
comes out.
I
at
still
you.
can't do it. That's my runner up just because it pisses me off.
I bet he can't do it because of his
No,
color blindness.
it's one of the easiest things for me to do.
Really?
Oh, within seconds I can see.
No, nope,
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
never have.
That-
I feel
that
like
was-
old boy off Mallrats.
Yeah.
That's what I was
It's a
getting ready to
schooner.
say.
It's
What?
a
I
good
can't
sailboat.
see it.
Oh, dumbass. It's a boat.
Schooner is a sailboat.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
I looked at this a little different, but I'm going to have similar stores to both of you.
Gotcha.
And as a guy that worked at a mall, I kind of understood the layout and how they work and
Yeah.
how they were efficient. So I looked at this as I broke this down into categories. So the first thing that a mall has to have is a good anchor store.
Yep.
Okay. So you were talking about Woolworths and JCPenney.
Yep.
Did you say
Sears.
Sears?
Yep.
Sears is awesome.
Oh yeah.
As a guy, and Sears would be my pick. Dillard's is another one. The Elder Beerman had one in Muncie that was a part of the mall.
Yeah, it was,
But
yeah.
Sears was awesome. You could go in there and you could buy, if you needed one, like a training bra, a set of tires for your car.
Yep.
You could get a pair of prescription glasses and get family
pictures
photos.
I was
taken.
going to say, and get your picture taken.
And that was all in one area.
Yes.
That was
one
that was
spot.
the beauty of Sears. And basically it was Walmart before it was Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's been replaced now that are in these stores by Walmart
Yeah.
and Amazon
Yeah.
for the most part, right? But yeah, that's Sears was something else.
That was it.
The next thing is food. So when you're there, you had mentioned you're there for a couple hours. There's lots of choices. Here in Richmond, we had Sbarro's.
Yep.
In Muncie, the Orange Julius,
Oh yeah.
which was good, but it was expensive, and I was in college, so
It's I never had.
I could mush up a banana and pour it in some orange juice in the cafeteria. But mine, if I was going to pick one food place, it would be Annie Ann's.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
pretzels.
Pretzels.
Yeah.
It's an easy snack. They made them in different flavors. It was pretty genius. They
Mine
just
would
took a
either be
pretzel.
that or Cinnabon.
Oh, Cinnabon's
Oh,
good.
Right?
Cinnamon's real good.
Oh.
You don't even know you want a cinnamon bun
Till you
until you
walk
walk in and smell
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Smell
getting
it.
one of them. I'm getting one. I'm getting a 6-pack. Take it home.
Oh, it ain't gonna make it home.
You're right.
The next thing I wanted to talk about, so we've covered the anchor store, we've covered food, is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So in bigger cities, we're from a small community here in Richmond, about 30,000 now, 28, whatever. So it's a mid-size Midwest mall.
Yep.
But in bigger communities, movie theaters
Oh yeah.
were a big one. Laser tag.
Yeah.
But for me, and this is truly one of mine for sure, was the arcade.
Yeah.
As a kid that loved
It was
games.
before gaming systems.
Yeah.
Oh
Really,
yeah,
that's where everybody
I loved
went.
an arcade, and I love the fact that you're starting to see more and more of those pop up here.
Yeah,
Like,
like a
here,
retro
even
arcade.
we've got 2, and I'm like, people are like, aren't they worried about competition? I'm like, shit, we need 3 more.
Yeah. Get them in here.
There is nothing wrong with an arcade.
No.
And then lastly, we get into what I would call the specialty stores. Okay. And specialty stores, I made a list. And I haven't picked this yet.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going with Sears. I'm with you on that one. I'm going with Annie Ann's. I'm still sticking with the pretzels over the Cinnabons. And because you could do cheese too. You could
You
do
get some
savory.
cheese.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did. They would melt the cream cheese so that you could dip it in cream cheese.
shut
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Come on now.
I don't even know why malls aren't still in existence just because of that. Right. And then I also went with the arcade. Now, the specialty stores, there's tons of these things.
Tons of them.
And Spencer's
Yeah.
was one that I loved.
Oh, yeah.
My good friend, my old brother-in-law, I still call him my brother-in-law. He mentioned at Spencer's you could learn a lot of things as a young man, and you really
The further back you went.
Yeah.
Right?
If you go through the beaded curtain.
Oh, I still remember as a kid asking my dad why the cane for the old man had a mirror on it. Stuff that was just not PC at all.
Right.
I love the store. KB Toys was one. Hot
Yeah.
Topic, Walden Books, Hat World.
Oh, yeah.
Another one, Musicland, obviously, and then Hallmark. So
I had that as one of my runner-ups
yeah,
too.
it's it was. I love the old Christmas ornaments, and
Yeah.
and it was an easy go-to for a gift
Oh, absolutely.
for somebody.
Yeah.
But if I had to go with one, and it's ironic because it's probably the one that was probably the first out of there. It's Walden Books.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved magazines. We don't really have magazines now because everything's
Everything's
online.
online.
But I love books.
Yeah.
I read everything I could about baseball, and but I was also a big Far Side guy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how many of
Tons
those
of them.
Far Side books. I
Yeah,
have.
I had a ton of them. Them are Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah,
Well, and that's where you always got your yearly calendar too.
yeah.
If
I
they
would,
didn't have the kiosk.
things I didn't worry about when I was in my teenage years was my yearly calendar.
I know.
God. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's just maybe it's a difference between women
I was
and
gonna
men.
say that was more in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. You would always get the ones where you just tear the sheet off each day. Remember those?
Yep.
The 365. And that was like you brought it up, and the last thing I want to touch on with malls before we move on is how important they were to us as a memory.
Oh,
and the
for
reason
sure.
when you walked into a mall in the 80s or the 90s for Christmas,
Yeah. Oh,
it was
God.
decorated like crazy. Almost every picture that I have with Santa Claus in my
It's
my
from
younger
the
years
mall.
is from the mall.
Yeah.
Or Elder Beerman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that creepy ass Easter bunny, which
Oh,
is
Still, I think it's the same suit.
it's
smells
has
like
never
cottage
been washed
cheese.
either. Oh, cottage cheese and vomit. It's just,
Oh.
how many people you think pissed on the Easter bunny suit when they saw that big freaking looking
Oh.
thing? You'd think they'd had just a big egg you could sit in and get your picture
That's
taken or
it,
something,
yeah.
but no, just a whack ass looking Easter bunny.
Here, go sit on some stranger's lap for a
Here.
picture.
Sit on this.
Oh, so
Last time
different.
I did that, I was at a strip club.
That's not true. I've seen you sit on people's laps. All right. Well, there's our run back through time when it comes to the mall. I miss the mall. I really
too.
do. You know, it's especially, and here's the thing, and it's only popular certain times of the year. Like Christmas was huge because you could make a day of it. We're gonna go knock out all our shit.
All of it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And
It was all
fight
in
the
there.
crowds, and you just dealt with it. And
Yep.
yeah, but yeah. And kids today, they don't need a place to go hang out. They do it all online.
Yeah.
We're raising some of the most introverted homebodies,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just different than how
Different
how
from
we
what
grew up.
we had.
You
Yeah.
know. So, all right, are we ready to move on?
I think so.
All right,
Got some giblets.
let's do the giblets.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see this one. I did not know this one. You guys probably do. American singer Tom Petty wrote the song "I Won't Back Down" after an arsonist burned down his house and he escaped with just the clothes on his back.
No, I did
No,
not
I
know
did not
that.
know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, shut up. Yeah, I
Well,
won't back down.
Burning down the house was already written, so that one was out.
I wrote a song about it. Like, here it goes.
Right?
Did he know the person?
It just said that an arsonist burned down his house and he escaped with just the clothes on his back. Yeah. It didn't
And
give much detail.
And as a result, he won't back down.
He won't
No.
back down.
Oh, it sounds like he was like being threatened.
Right?
He might have been. I don't know. I should probably research more into
Must have
it.
been that Indiana girl
Right?
on that Indiana night.
The dead body one from the video. So weird.
It's weird.
The Last Dance of Mary Jane?
Yes.
Necrophilia. What is it called?
Necrophilia.
Necro. I forgot the R.
That's all right.
Yeah. Anyway, clearly I don't look at those sites on Pornhub. I never even knew if that. I bet that is a fetish.
Oh, you know it is.
It's got to be.
Oh, for sure.
It's got a name.
Yeah. Right. That's a good point.
It has a name.
It is a true fetish if it has a name.
It's got a name.
Yeah.
Something for
And
somebody.
that one's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? All right, Gibbs.
All right. Americans spend more on lottery tickets than on movies, video games, music, sports tickets, and books combined.
I believe it. I worked at a gas station. I had guys come in. They would play the pick 3, pick 4. The pick 3 numbers were 000 through 999, and then he'd pick other numbers. He'd spend about $50 at a time every day.
Every day.
Every single
day.
day.
Did he ever bring in a winner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he'd win about $25,000 a year.
Yeah. How much did he spend on it?
God, probably a lot more than that.
$50 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some good cash.
Yeah,
I mean, you're dropping $1,400 a month.
yeah. I mean, but still, he would still hit
12,000.
a couple thousand
Well,
a month. So
my buddy Jeremy Hill, he used to call lottery tickets rather a taxation on the stupid. And I think it's every now and then AJ and I will get the itch and we'll grab one or two
oh yeah.
just for the fun
I
of
mean,
it.
let's not talk about pull tabs. It's
Well,
still
yeah.
considered kind
Pull
of a
tab's
lottery.
totally different.
Oh,
That
sorry.
is not
Yeah.
different.
It's way worse.
It's a local lottery.
Oh, nothing to piss you off more than when you buy 80 tickets, let's say hypothetically,
Right.
on a Tuesday
Hypothetically on
night
a
2 days
Tuesday.
ago.
And the people behind you.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh
50.
shit, we just keep hitting them and hitting
we hit
them."
$300 on $20.
And then puke on you.
Yeah, and then puked while Kim was singing karaoke. It was the.
It was that bad, I guess.
I mean,
don't know.
I've only heard situations like that. I don't know if it's ever happened.
Man, she just and the funny thing, it was like it was a drive-by puking because
Oh.
I never
Nobody
saw.
knew who it was.
Yeah, it was like a
Really?
mystery puke. All of a sudden, you
Oh,
just hear
no.
about it. It's like
Yeah, there's 2 people gone and there's vomit on the floor.
it's like you'd have to watch like the video back, and it's like JFK. It's like back and to the left, and the vomit is hitting, splattering. Oh man.
Got it.
Oh, and then the best part is when you see one of the bartenders dry heaving. You know, doing
Is
the-
this guy?
And then she's like, quit talking about it. Quit talking about it.
Yeah. And then and so we're there for karaoke, and they immediately put me up while there's just this sea of vomit. And so I start singing about it in my song, and it was making the bartender sick. And then this couple had to get up and leave because the lady, I'm like, and they're like, "What?" I go, "What is that? It looks like there's some crust in it."
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh, it was pizza." And I'm like, "Well, apparently it's cheese because that's the only toppings I see." And then, yeah,
It was
really,
bad.
yeah. And then Amanda had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to sit there and
Well,
finish
I
the
mean,
beer
to
by
be
myself.
fair, a little bit splashed under her leg.
Oh man,
Ooh.
That's all right.
that's
It
every
happens.
concert
It's
I went
bad
to
when
in the
you do it
90s.
on
Right.
yourself. Yeah. It's bad when you do it on yourself, but like somebody else's vomit on you.
Biohazard,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Ugh.
All right,
All right.
squirrels are getting us good tonight, buddy.
Squirrelies.
All right. Hiram Maxim, the inventor of the automatic machine gun, became deaf from test firing his weapons so much. As a result, his son became the inventor of the silencer.
He should have invented a hearing aid.
Right?
Earmuffs.
Right, talking about inventing something late.
Yeah, you invented a gun. I'm just going to make it quieter. How about ear protection? No, we didn't think about that. Like,
Jump right past
shit.
the obvious
Yeah.
answer.
All right. This one I did not know. Do you know the name Thurl Ravenscroft?
Thurl?
Thurl.
No.
Thurl.
Yeah.
So he is the one that sang "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." Do you know what else he did? He was
Porn?
the voice of Tony the Tiger.
All right.
Corn. No,
You asked.
corn flakes.
cornflake. That's what I said. You didn't let me finish. Cornflakes.
He was the voice of Tony the Tiger too.
Oh. I thought the person that narrated it was the singer. I didn't realize it was a separate person. That's
Yeah,
kind of
maybe.
cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that.
I did not either.
That's a good gift.
I feel bad for a guy like that. You know, as a kid, he never got cool license plates or shit to put on the back.
You can never find his name on a keychain.
No, Thurl.
Thurl.
Oh, man.
Whatever.
There's certain guys that ruin names. Like, there'll never be another Adolf.
Right.
That name's out.
Nope.
Right? What'd Thurl do that people pissed off? You know,
Right.
There are no more Thurls.
All right, last one. And speaking of names, due to the limited number of different names on Norfolk Island, the island's telephone directory lists people with common names by their nickname.
There you go. I need to
So
get
there are entries for cane toad, lettuce leaf, goof diddles, rubber duck, carrots, and Tarzan. Can you imagine being in the
Oh, man.
Yeah, mine would be on there, pudding.
pudding?
We'd
We'd
there's
have
a
a
lot
Dutch,
there's a lot
a
of nicknames
Gibbler.
though that I've heard that it's like, do they have an X-rated section
Right.
like at,
Yeah,
at,
that's-
at
And
Spencer's?
R, yeah. No,
Dickhead one.
Right? You're like, oh, I just call that guy
What if we have
cocksucker.
common? Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. All right. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's a good
It's
one.
got to be a small that's so wild to me that people would know everyone's nickname.
Right, but I want to know who this lettuce leaf was.
Yeah. It was Town Podhead. It was like the Smurfs, right?
Yeah.
Everyone
Right.
had their little thing.
Dopey.
Yeah, see?
Disney again. All right, Puddin'. Let's do Am I the Asshole?
All right. I like this one. It's am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend in the car because of a snake?
I got to know more.
So I, 31 female, have a little girl, age 3, and am getting back into the dating world after a divorce. The guy I'm dating is 34 male. I have been with my boyfriend for 7 months, and he needed me to pick him up from the auto repair shop, so I did. When we were on our way home, something moved under my foot and I freaked out. I found a nearby parking spot, parked quickly, grabbed my kid, and refused to get anywhere near the car again. Where I live, there are a lot of venomous snakes, and all I saw was a dark, fat snake with pattern. So immediately I thought cottonmouth and got the heck out with my kid. Cottonmouths are only venomous, but also aggressive. Apparently my boyfriend didn't get the memo and just thought I was overreacting. He didn't see anything, so basically told me that there was nothing there and I was losing it. So I left him there with the snake. He was furious, and I would not get back in the car with my baby. I refused to get back in, called my ex. He came to the
Oh.
parking lot, pulled out a super fat rat snake that was 7 foot long. I want to say all I saw was a fat, dark pattern. Immediately thought cottonmouth until I was proven otherwise. Anyway, after that, I felt a little crazy, took my boyfriend home, and have been paranoid about my car since, but otherwise we're all fine. However, my boyfriend is furious with me that I left him in the car with a snake. I don't know why, because I told him there was a snake. If someone yells snake, you fucking move until you know without a shadow of a doubt it's harmless. Anyway, I need to know if I was an asshole or not for
Well, let's
getting out of the car.
Let's go to the immediate elephant in the room that you
yeah.
call your ex to come
This had
get
nothing to
Right?
do with the snake.
It had nothing to do with
This
the snake.
had, let's get that right.
It
out.
was about her ex's trouser snake.
Ah,
Probably. What a way to say my new boyfriend's a piece of shit. Like, hey,
Hey, can you come help?
he's being a pussy.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess she left the husband because he ran right over there, right? Like,
Right.
if he left her, he'd be like, fuck, that's on you,
Yeah, right?
right?
He ran right over
Unless
it.
he's the dad of the child.
Yeah.
Well, maybe,
Make
but
sure the
at
kid's
that
okay.
point, they're already out of the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And so the guy's left in the vehicle with said snake. Yeah, and he's not pissed because he got left in the vehicle. He didn't even think there was a snake in there
Right.
anyway.
He thought it was stupid and that you were overreacting.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the snake.
It had to do with the dude that showed up,
Right?
right? It is a little odd.
Right.
Do I think she's an asshole? I don't think she's an asshole, but I think she clearly
Maybe an
is
asshole
not
for
over.
calling her ex.
She's clearly not over her ex.
Right.
Like, that's the thing about sometimes in a relationship, it's that person that's there for you when you need them. And when you call the person that you thought you didn't need anymore, right? I don't know. It just seems, and that's why he's, I'll tell you this, that couple's not going to make it.
No.
I wish I could track that couple. That's
Can I get an
what
update?
social-
I'll follow it. See if we get an update.
Yeah. Ask her, say, hey, seriously, what's the over under on you guys? Like, how long you been together?
They were together 7
6
months.
months, 7
7
months?
months.
Yeah, well, they didn't make it
Maybe
to 12. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you. Oh, man. Am I the asshole?
Right.
All right. So what do you guys think? Is she the asshole?
Oh no! I mean,
No, I mean not for the snake part.
I don't
It's
blame her
just a
one
little
bit.
weird calling your ex, but I mean, if you're
I mean, it
worried
depends
for
on
the
where she
well-being
lives.
of
If
your child.
she lived there with her ex,
Yeah.
away from family. She had no one else to call. I knew this guy, and that was it. So
Yeah.
Right. Well,
situational.
yeah, I need to know more, but I can tell you right now that ain't for the long haul. That sounds like Rebound all over right there. All right. Are you guys ready to do some news?
What we
Let's
got?
do it.
All right. Here's my first story, and this is the one that pisses me off.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And for a lot of reasons. Like, I'll read it, and then we'll discuss, okay?
Okay.
This is an 18-year-old woman in Iowa named Samaya Thomas was supposed to have a first date on Sunday with a guy she's been talking to on a dating app. So this was just last week, okay? They had been chatting for over a week, and now they're going on their first date.
Okay.
Everything sounds kosher at that point. At the last minute, she decided she didn't want to meet him. And instead of telling the poor guy, she called 911 on him.
What?
Yes. Now it gets better.
I love it.
This is the part that pisses me off. She told cops her abusive ex-boyfriend was outside her home and he threatened to hit, punch, kick, and stab her. She also claimed to be pregnant with his child.
What a
What the
crazy
hell?
woman.
Right? The guy was supposed to go out with was leaving the scene when the cops got there and detained him on his way out. He showed the messages on his phone, and which proved Samaya was lying.
Yeah.
All right. She eventually admitted to it that she had made it all up and because she had gotten cold feet and didn't want to meet him anymore. She's facing 2 misdemeanor charges for placing a false 911 call and filing a false report.
What in the
I was
world?
gonna say she should be arrested for that kind of crazy,
Well,
like for making those kind of accusations about somebody.
People get shot
Yeah.
when the cops are, and I'm not hating on cops. I'm just saying, like, if they show up, let's say hypothetically this guy actually carries a gun because
Right.
he's
Or has
legally allowed to.
a knife or
Or
something in his
anything.
car.
Maybe he likes
Yeah.
swords. You know, he's got like a, and he just happened to bring his collection because like
Maybe he's got a big trouser snake.
right. I'm just saying this is especially when you're threatening violence. He's going to stab me,
Right.
And I'm pregnant with his
pregnant.
child.
Like,
Gosh, you made up some good shit.
apparently he dodged a bullet.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
absolutely.
Wow.
Right?
He deleted the app that night.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
no.
what? I'm good.
He was swiping on other people, I'm sure, by the end of the night.
Yeah.
The part that bothers me on this situation is you get into the victim blaming. And Gibbler and I have chatted about this because I have a tendency sometimes to immediately want to side with the victim. Mostly because it's men that are doing shit wrong. And I know dudes that are just D-bags, so I can picture a lot of it. And Kim is more of, well, what the fuck, you know? She's like Dave Chappelle when it comes to that. And so, but in fairness, like these are the situations where we're basically being taught now that you always have to believe the accuser
Right.
until you're proven wrong.
Right.
Right. And this poor kid, I'm going to assume he's probably similar age, 18 years old. He's a kid.
Wow.
Right. I mean, she's 18.
Trying to ruin him.
Oh, forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Like I don't know. And so I guess the part I brought up is the fact that she was charged with just 2 misdemeanors.
Right.
I feel like that should be something more.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Like,
Yeah. I'd love to get our audience's feedback on this one. This one's kind of a deep one for After 2 Beers, but you know, when we started this podcast 6+ years ago, one of the things that we talked about was we wanted to have a couple drinks, talk about things that you would typically sit around and chat with your friends at a bar or a bonfire or whatever.
oh yeah, be like, hey, did you see this in the news?
Yeah, and this is just crazy
That
to
is
me.
crazy.
And you know this stuff happens all the time. This just happens to be the one story I saw about it.
Man.
Just wild. All right, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. This will be our last
good
one,
one.
and we'll. Oh, this is so. It's so funny to me. All right, a middle-aged rich guy in England. I don't know why they put rich in there, but let's just say a middle-aged guy in England. He's suing Apple His wife found a bunch of text messages he had sent to hookers. They are divorced now. He says he turned to prostitutes the last few years of their marriage and would text them using the iPhone texting app Message. But he was careful to always delete the messages so his wife didn't see them.
Except for she has the iPad that is linked.
Unfortunately for him, he only deleted them from his phone, and she eventually found them on the iMac desktop that they shared. She filed for divorce less than a month later and took him for all he's worth. Now he's suing to recover the money. He thinks Apple should have to cover what he lost in divorce as well as his legal bills, totaling more than $6.3 million.
Holy cow.
This is user error.
Oh, this is lack of accountability. And we are getting more and more of this every day where it's the victim.
Nah, you do it. You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. Got
Right?
caught.
It's so stupid to me. He says if she found out he was cheating some other way, they might have worked through it. But seeing the text was just too brutal. Yeah, again, it's not his fault.
Not his fault.
Not his fault.
Not his fault. I want to know. I would love to know what he was texting. I bet it was some
Narcissist.
nasty shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's like,
Will you hawk Tui? Hey, did you see that meme? You do that hawk Tui on me? I want to try that shit.
Yeah, my wife hasn't hawk tuied for years.
At least the last couple months.
His lawyers are even looking into making a class action lawsuit if other men come forward and say the same thing happened to them.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man, that's what you want to do is out yourself to all your community about, hey, I cheated on my wife. She found it because I wasn't dumb enough. First of all, you fucking cheated.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Who cares how you got caught?
Oh, man.
You're the dumbass.
I accidentally gave my girlfriend an STD, and that's how she found out I was cheating.
Right?
It's that other girl's fault. No,
It's the lab work's fault.
Oh, my
No,
God.
it wasn't me.
Oh.
Can I bring up one more news story real quick?
Oh, yeah, you got one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Because
what this
people
we
are
got.
stupid. Did you hear about what happened in Kings Island yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I went to
but-
go retrieve his keys.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he went into the unauthorized area that's for employees only to go try to retrieve his keys while the Banshee's still going.
Got hit about 68 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's called Darwinism. That's
Somebody
called
I'd
Taking out the
seen that.
numb.
Somebody put that in the comments and
that's
shit I read.
thinning the herd. I was.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how
would've
traumatized you'd be
waited.
being in that front cart.
Oh, man. And
Or
messy.
you come around and just...
What do you do then? Do you just do you hose those people off?
Oh.
Or do you let them
Is
go
it kind
down?
of like, is it like when somebody pukes on you?
Yeah, like till they go down the water. They're like, all right, we got to take these over to the Whitewater Canyon.
You gotta go to
get
the
them,
log-
get them rinsed
log
off.
The
flume.
worst part is they were probably stuck on the roller coaster until they could get everything taken care of.
No, I bet you they blew right through him and went up. I want to see the picture.
Oh, no.
You're like, can I buy?
Can I get that picture, please?
Oh no, I was afraid. I heard about it today. I didn't hear the details.
I
on
don't
it.
know anything else about it. but
I was
heard.
afraid that maybe it was a gentleman that was suffering in life, and that he thought,
No.
No, he was a
drop his
jackass
keys.
and was like, I'll take matters
He
into my
couldn't
own
wait for them to
hands.
go get it. So he decided, I'm going to go in here.
yeah, jeez, he obviously didn't time it well either. Like,
No.
you know, it's not like these
Have
things
you ever
are
tried
random.
to outrun a 68-mile-an-hour bullet coming at you?
No, well, that's not a very fast bullet.
I mean, it's a roller coaster. Is a
Maybe he was
it's
dead.
coming out like
Oh,
fast.
that's a vehicle that's
It
coming
is
at
a
you.
vehicle.
And you know exactly where it's going. It's on fucking tracks.
You're right. And you
would-
could watch it. Watch it, time it. Okay, it's gone.
Oh,
Now go
man.
get it.
You know, and the bad part is now.
He was really
Or
bad
here,
at
how
double
about this?
dutch.
Wait for them to fucking get it for me. I don't care.
He's like, I want to go home. I just shit my pants on that ride.
He went home all right.
Oh,
I got a
no, he
splitting
went to the
headache.
hospital apparently.
Yeah.
I guess he's in critical condition. Or
Yeah, I mean, no shit.
no, I'm just saying. Well, you know, I don't want to make too hard. You know, and golly.
I don't think that I'm going to be in great condition if I just got hit by a 68-mile-an-hour vehicle at me.
Oh no, he's fucked up for sure of it. I'm like, I bet he doesn't go back to that park.
I bet he tries to sue.
Oh, I'm
Oh, my
sure.
God, he'll sue.
Oh, the door was unlocked.
Oh, it's one of my favorite SNL deals when Chris Farley, he says, sure, the construction site said stay out, but when you're as drunk as I was, you can't read signs.
There you go.
He spent the day in beer garden, was looking for his
Oh,
keys.
man.
I mean, you wash your hands in one fountain at Disney. What I mean,
Oh,
Oh.
it's
Would you like an update
yeah
on this incident?
absolutely.
Yes.
I hate to like make fun. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
making fun. I'm just
If
saying
he's
that you're
dead, now we're all
stupid.
gonna feel like asses.
I don't care. He's still stupid.
Well,
I
all
won't.
right.
No, I won't.
Is was.
All right. So Mason police said Thursday the man had been trying to retrieve his lost keys. The witnesses said a person riding in the front row told them it sounded like they hit a deer at the time of the accident. The person.
Oh dear.
Thud.
I can't. Why am I laughing? You know, like why am I fucking laughing? The person struck was taken to University of Cincinnati, and their current condition is not known.
Ugh, that's not good.
Meanwhile, Kings Island's focus continues to be on the welfare of the guest and his family. The park said.
Okay.
And
What about
The
the
writing fucked up.
traumatized guests?
I was the thing didn't even seem to sound. Oh, it sounded like we had a deer back there. I don't know what happened. Dun, dun. Like,
It was right back there where those keys were laying.
check my picture. Does this picture look right? Is that a pair of feet?
That deer was wearing clothes.
Oh. Can you imagine if it had like hit him and knocked it back into like one of the carts? Could you imagine
Oh.
being? I mean, I just feel like that would be traumatizing.
Yeah, it clearly.
Absolutely.
Man.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The picture thing is kind of
That's
funny.
yeah.
I gotta be honest with you.
I kind of wonder what he was driving and the keys went to. Old beat up Buick or something.
It's probably for sale.
Bet. It's probably in the parking lot.
It's probably
Yeah,
still
I
in
bet you we
Scooby
can
Doo
figure it out real quick.
Yeah, at the end of the
drive
night,
it.
yeah.
It's the car that's still in Scooby Doo too.
Oh, the bad part is, let's say, I mean, I'm assuming he didn't go alone. So, like, his family's like, but we're really gonna need them keys.
You gotta,
The whole,
They're on the wheel.
right, the whole family can't get in the ambulance. So
they
we're
still
gonna-
didn't get them keys. Do you mind if we get them?
I mean, I legit have lost my keys on a ride at Kings Island, and I just was like, let me call my stepdad,
I
have
would,
him pick me up, and they mailed me my keys. It
Oh
was
wow, yeah,
whatever.
they'll get them for you.
Yeah. It's just going to be at the end of the night when the
Well,
roller
they may
coasters
even
aren't going.
Shut the ride down for a minute, but
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
could do that.
I don't know. This is, yeah,
Oh God,
you know,
like you said, Darwinism.
Darwinism, and that you
He
know,
was hoping to find his keys, maybe some Oakleys.
he's like, I bet I'll find all kinds of quarters.
phones.
here."
all kinds of change.
Gosh.
Oh man, that's a one to end on right there.
Sorry.
No,
That's a
I
good
just
one.
heard about it. You know, and that's. I'm just picturing the people in the front, like looking like they had been at a Gallagher comedy show, and they're just covered, and they're like, "Man, these rides are so realistic now."
Different kind of melon.
Ah, talk about a banshee. They throw real blood on you and everything.
Oh, it's crazy, man. It sounded like a real human that we hit. Oh,
Oh.
they're like, we'll give you a free day's pass. You
yeah.
get fast pass.
You
can
get a
have
free meal.
Fast pass.
fast pass rest of the day. All right. Well, we appreciate you sticking through it. I hope you stuck through it
Yeah,
for the
right.
4 or 5 people that made it through it, or if you're listening to the audio. We greatly appreciate you hanging out with us again. Like I said, we've missed it.
We love you
We've been
guys.
so busy. We've been doing trivia in the fall and the winter, and the summer's just busy anyway.
Very.
And then you're like in 14 dart leagues, and
Just one right now.
yeah, just one. That right there tells you how many dart leagues he's in. When it's well, I'm
Just
in
one.
Just
Just
one.
one.
Just one.
Just one, man.
It's only like one night a week. It's
Just a tip.
just the tip. Yeah, Haktui.
Octui.
Haktui League.
That's a new dark name.
Oh, yeah. And you know, I'll say this. I bet you there's a lot of marriages been ended because of a dart league.
Yeah.
A lot of Haktuis in the parking lot, I
Octui's
bet.
in the parking lot.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Wow, look at the time.
Right. But anyway, we're going to start
wrapping up, aren't
Yeah, we're going to do these twice a month moving forward. Thanks again to our buddy Kevin.
Thank
Shook.
you, Kevin.
Kevin here at E Studios. If you want to check it out, I'll make sure to include his stuff on our Facebook page.
Yes.
But on our personal pages, if you you follow us there too. But you can see all the different collaborations that he can have here, or as far as setups goes. And he also does remote work, and he's traveled all the way to Nashville, Chicago, and just in the
All
last
kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. So lots of opportunities if you want to get started in something like that. So
Yes.
reach out to Kevin and E Studios. It's Global Media. What's the webpage?
GlobalMediaVR.com.
All right. There we
Yeah.
go. You should put your little thing on there. Little Hawk Tui it on the
I'll
screen.
put it
there.
right where your hand was.
Back to it.
Right there.
Point
So
to it.
check
Just
him
point to
out. Thanks again to our Patreon sponsors. We appreciate you. I think what we may do is we may try to move some things to what we would consider Patreon exclusive stuff.
Yep.
So just because we're trying to go through this stuff, I'm still trying to get it under an hour, and we're doing that. So I'm happy with that.
I like it.
That aspect
Yeah.
of it. So thanks again to our Patreon sponsors. Thanks again to Kevin. Thanks again to all of you that have tuned in this evening or listened to us on our podcast page. We greatly appreciate it. If you get a chance, make sure you check out after2beers.com. That's the number 2. You can find links to our past episodes, including some really cool interviews that we've done.
Yes. You've done a ton of them.
Yeah, we've Nikki Glazer, who is probably hotter than she's ever
Oh,
been.
right now, definitely.
You know, she's, I guess her HBO special was amazing.
Yeah.
And so if you get a chance, you can go to our page and listen to her and I chat about her vagina for 20 minutes.
Awesome.
That's literally what she
Yeah,
wanted to
pretty
talk
much, yeah.
Yeah, just her vagina. So, but we've got other cool interviews out there as well. We've done a lot of different things in 6 years. We've got a ton of history stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
So you can check that out and any of our other episodes as well. And I guess without, well, no, one thing.
What do you always say?
Yeah, it's very important. And it's simply this. And again, we make light of a lot of things on this show, but life's hard.
Yeah.
And I will say the hardest thing for me as a 46-year-old is there's a lot of people that you grew up with in life that are no longer with us.
Yep.
And it's weird now. Like, it seems like every 2 weeks there's like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? And
Yeah.
you're like, shit, man. And
I
then,
wonder why everybody checked the obituaries growing up.
and now you're like, shit, those people were younger than I am.
Yeah.
You know, like every day is a blessing.
Yeah.
It really, truly is. And, but like I said, life's hard. There's a very important presidential election coming up, and I would hate for relationships and friendships and family members to come at odds over something like that. It causes a lot of drama. Just keep that shit to yourself.
Yep.
But there's a lot of things that people struggle with financially and other things that could just get you down. And it's a hard world to live in now. Everything is just right in front of your face. So, Hawk Tui.
Tui, in your face.
But really, what I'm trying to say more importantly than anything is this. If there's someone in your life that you think, you know what, they may be struggling. I think they're maybe going through some hard shit right now. Just know that they probably are. Don't think about it. Just go ahead and be assertive. Reach out to them. Ask them how they're doing, how they've been, or just let them know you care about them and appreciate them. You know, it's hard. We're so busy with everything in the world today, but you got basically a mini computer in your hand. Just
takes 2 seconds.
Send a text. Just shoot them a meme. Send them a meme off our page and just saying, hey, I'm just saying hi this way.
Yep.
You know, little things like that will go a long, long way.
Yes.
And even as close as we are and as easy it is to communicate, I'd be willing to bet a majority of Americans from time to time feel alone.
Yeah. I'd love to just have a little somebody reach out to them.
Yeah. And Hawk to them.
Hawk to you.
Whatever it takes. I got to lighten it up a little bit. It's
Yep.
after 2 beers. All right. I guess, finally, without further ado, Gibbler, Puddin', we will talk to them all next time.
After 2 beers.
Hell, Satan.
Oh my gosh.